Okay, that pile of paperwork right there is the majority of the paperwork that goes to um, all Henderson did with me and dealt with me. I want to turn the TV low. I just had something to eat, and between then, just harassed some more, harassed some more. I mean, the guy that I was with, I didn't know, like, good, it's all facing down. I didn't know that he was at the very end. If I decided I was going to leave Henderson, he was going to become this fucking, incredible monster and just start. I mean, he's threatening me. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. Like, look, you have harassed me. You will not leave me alone. This has been an ongoing problem. I've asked your friend to get involved because I don't want to call the police. Calling the police to me was a last resort. It always was, and it should be. But see, the people here, they got it all fucking backwards. They got it all backwards. They don't want to deal with anything one on, and they really can't. And now I see why, because it's like, if I do something, if I say something, I'm going to get in trouble. But here you are at work. This guy is at work and he's harassing me, and it's been all day long. He was started before he went to work. And I have to know what he's doing because of the fact that if I don't know what he's doing, he's liable to come up on the property. And I have to be ready for that. So I am protecting myself. I'm not getting done what I need to get done. I'm not checking out, the beginning of the month. What's going on? I have to be over here. I have to be over there. I just want to go back to fucking sleep. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? I honestly do not want to have anything to do with this. At this point, I've made my point. I've made my fucking point. And then the guy that I didn't know as a stranger, someone who knew me throughout the last year, who said, well, I understand why you wouldn't want to be here. No, he's like, I guess angry I'm leaving. Same, getting my windows smashed out. Who was angry I was leaving then, I guess this is a way to show me that, he really cared about me by smashing out my windows up in Utah. This, William Fields. I mean, I allege that. I don't believe anyone else could have taken off a mirror that was wired through the top of the whole fucking car like that. And if Mr. One Percenter Mongols wants to call the police on me and say I slandered his great name, I guess he's got no criminal charges when I first showed up trying to show him that fucking paperwork. That paperwork that proves that, I was arrested and for nothing, for being like, for knowing them. That's their fucking problem. I'm like, I want you to write a letter to the judge saying, I have no affiliation to your club. I am not your friend. I am not your fuck. Like, you're the only person I know. Write the letter. Would he do that? No. Did he have a sit down with the guys and say, did you know, remember Rebecca, did you know she got arrested? Do you know she got arrested because of our club? Yeah, she went down to Nevada. She was minding her own fucking business. But isn't that the problem? I didn't mind my business enough before I left. Thank God, because nobody was watching those kids to stick their neck out to say, if anything ever happens, I'm going to stick up for these kids. And I'm sorry, those kids are not only malnourished, they are put on the back burner for, his freaking ex, who was they probably worked together down here for many years. I'm sure him and fucking cunt Cindy had a great run down here when they were when they first got caught by the fucking cops. When they first got in trouble. Because I'm sure that's when it all started. The moving, the addresses, which I have all of, that I've looked up, that I am now aware of what, and who and where and what happened. I put it together. It's not hard to figure out. It's not hard to figure out. And I never, all I wanted to do was move away, maybe eventually move back home, because I was so far away from my home, which was Florida. I was actually too far to make it to move to Oregon. I was too far. So I come down to, Henderson and think, wow, I'm going to make this, life for myself or whatever. And then all of a sudden I meet this guy who, is like, I had my kids being watched by this undercover car, and then it took off, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, why would somebody be watching your kids? It doesn't make any sense. Of course, I attribute it to myself, being that, I'd been followed, and I knew I'd been followed. Like, I knew I'd been followed the whole time I'd come down here. I was concerned for, I guess, the kids. I don't know why I would be. They're the law enforcement. Why should it matter if they want to sit there and watch his kids play? I don't know why I got concerned, but I did. And I said, I want to go talk to that judge you claim with you. I want to go with you. I did not want to be left in the dark about any of the stuff that he was saying he was finding out. Robert Whiteside claimed he found out that I had a hit on me from my old friends. I'll call them acquaintances. And that, I had a hit on me, and that's why they were out looking at his kids and all this, playing on my fucking heartstrings. And then when I start finding out this isn't true, and I'm pregnant by the guy, like, I'm not sleeping around. Like, I'm not sleeping around. We're wearing protection on top of it. He knows that I can't get pregnant. I can die. And so what does he do? He gets me pregnant on purpose. And he puts me in jail on a day to, the day that the judge would be leaving. It was a misdemeanor violation of a TPO. Violation of a TPO? Non-bondable? Never in my life have I seen a non-violent crime that is not an ongoing problem. This is the first brush I had with the police other than the TPO. He had the TPO served at midnight. They show up at my house. TPO was served by 11. I was like on my way into cuffs the next morning. I even let them into my house. I had no idea. Like, I was like, what are you guys doing back here? I went to sleep late. I was having coffee. I was like, what are you doing back here? They're like, well, you violated your TPO. I'm like, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? You violated your TPO. I don't have a phone. I have a home phone. I don't have a cell phone right now. Well, and they're switching off, and I find it so funny that these two, like, you know what, I'll call you what you are, you're bitches, because out of 55 times of being up here, of all the police coming up here, you've never come up here. You've never come up here. You've never come up here to deal with me. You sent, somebody that I had omitted from the first internal affairs investigation, and he had to show out and show, he was willing to come in for the second arrest. Second arrest that, there's still a lot of questions. No warrant produced. My public defender won't call me back. No warrant produced. I'm sorry my voice sounds like, nails, like, it just sounds horrible, but, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I'm not even given the proper space and respect so I can pack some of my things and leave. That's what they wanted, right? They wanted me to leave, right? Well, you got it. So, can I just please do that in peace? No, they steal my ID. They fucking who's they? Who's they? Well, whoever was working on this, because it was obvious it wasn't one person, okay? Richard Castro worked on this. Anthony Celebretti worked on this. The girl that lived upstairs, she worked on it. The guy that lived across from her, he did not make the statement and would not make that statement in court for them. So they've got a problem there. Then there's Janine Nagatani, who allegedly, I would say, filed a TPO on me from over the border.